the HK Army Shocker amp. So I have done a full-on review of this gun. I've done an amp review in the past when they came out. All this whole like COVID thing has made my like calendar all over the place. I don't know. Maybe the amp came out about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Did it come out before COVID? I don't even remember. But there's definitely a review on this channel. I'm gonna get rid of this black thing, and then we're gonna open this up and kind of see what's inside of it, and talk about a freaking amp. Let's get rid of that. Oh gosh, that speaker. I'm gonna move that keyboard a little bit, get that mouse out of here so we have a clean surface working area. So yeah, all the Shocker paintball guns, we should say all the like Shocker DLX gun as well, do come with cases. The new TM40 case is a little bit different than this, but I'd still say like the same build quality and still same overall like goodness we're getting or something like that. I'm turning my volume down. I don't know if I'm like clipping or something, but we'll see. So yeah, Shocker amp right there. You can see on these, there are two different prices for these things. They are going to be $11.99, like it says on that price tag right there. I want to make sure I have all my notes up so I don't like miss anything. And then they also have a different version of these, not solid colors, that are going to have like splashes and crazy anodizing. This one right here though is just going to be their standard normal color, we're going to say. So let's do this thing. So inside there, you're gonna really kind of get the same stuff you're gonna get with the normal amp. You do get a really good parts kit, although I hate pulling them out of here. It always feels like I'm gonna like rip the like liner on these things. Good parts kit, you get a bunch of O-rings. Let's see if we can get that up there. Some spare screws. There's a reg seat right there. Really kind of maybe all the O-rings you're ever gonna need in these things. Those O-rings do last quite a while, so it's not like something you're really changing all that often. You're still getting the Freak XL barrel kit, and you can probably tell the color of that gun based off that barrel. They do come with a 6.87 insert. Let's put that there. I don't know. A bunch of there's actually the O-ring that goes in the barrel. Allen wrenches, a lot of Allen wrenches, really more Allen wrenches than you're ever going to need. Some grease, we're going to say about, what is that? Probably like a 1/4 ounce of grease or something like that. Some Dow 33 medium, I think they use. Okay, on the other side of here, you're going to get a barrel cover. It's a barrel cover. Quick start manual, so you don't actually have to have anything downloaded on your phone or whatever. You can just keep that in there so it's kind of quick and easy. I got a super chat from someone. I freaking appreciate it. Joel, you're awesome. Thank you very much, sir. There it is, though. We have Shocker amp. You can see in that teal and pink color. I don't know what they call this colorway, actually. Does it say on this price tag? Teal and pink. And they are quite a bit different than the previous amp. I mean, if you guys are familiar with that, like, normal Shocker amp, the HK one is going to look quite a bit different. We're going to zoom in there. I hate that little cut on there. It drives me, a little dent on the table drives me insane. We're going to cover it up. Yeah, you can see right away that it's just milled a lot more. The regular amp has much more simple, we'll say subdued milling. The reason they kind of are using that little cheaper style or simpler milling is mainly just to keep the cost down. Having this like extensive extreme cut milling, it just costs more. I mean, you have to run the gun on the machine a little bit longer, and just takes a little bit more work. Right away though, the thing that I like about these is certainly that foregrip. I mean, my biggest complaint with the original amp was just how small these foregrips are. You can kind of actually see the original ones about like that, and then they added this little extra like spot right here, so when you put it in your hand, it just feels much larger. I mean, you can kind of see that my hand's a little big, so I don't really like these really small paintball guns. I much prefer stuff that's a little stretched out. Like, I like this length a lot, but I much prefer the guns with big honking foregrips. So So I really like how they've, you know, just increased that foregrip size really quite a bit on there. Man, it looks really good in this light though, right? I really like the little notches. I think that maybe the most modern paintball gun that kind of had these little cuts right there was the Vanquish. I think the Vanquish 1.0 was kind of like that on the side, right? The whole idea is that like maybe you can get a little bit of extra grip, or there's people that hold their guns crazy over the top like that, so maybe you get a little bit of extra grip by having those little milling spots. They also added some upgrades on this. You can probably already see they've added the toolless eye covers, so you can, I hate the way these eye covers work. I truly hate them. You can like push back. I might not even be able to get these off right now because they're just so like on there, you know? Yeah. Toolless eye covers, so is where before you had to use nail and Allen wrench. Now you just push this little like latch back and you push down right there, kind of pops up, and you can remove the thing. It's handy, but again, it's like, it's not one of the things that like you're doing all that often. I mean, how often do you remove, okay, doing this at this angle where I can't actually see what I'm doing, it's a little difficult. What is happening here? I hate these eye covers. Am I just an idiot? Do I have it on like upside down? Or did the eye come off? I can't like see what I'm doing. Okay. This is the normal flaw with the Luxes. I'm just not used to like, there we go. If the eye comes off, it like pops up and then it presses down. It makes it a little hard to put back on. But they are removable without tools. I mean, whether that was easier or not, I don't know. Maybe not for myself, you know, but if you're not stupid, you can take them off a little easier. They've also added that new on-off. So it's really the same on-off as the previous amp, except for in the front they had a knob. Now they're doing that same quick release lever that you're gonna see on the Luxes. TM40 still has that. Yeah. They've also kind of milled up the back cap. It's still gonna be the exact same thing though. Bolt still comes out the same. Still has that like twist lock or whatever, but it's definitely milled and looks quite a bit nicer. HK Army say that it comes with an aftermarket or a different trigger, but it really is the exact same trigger as that comes on the amp. They just milled it down a little bit. Definitely milled the feed neck to make it a little bit lighter as well. That is the Shocker amp. $1,200, and they also have that 1350 one that has like a splash and all that cool anodizing and stuff. Shocker amp. So if you got questions about this thing, I mean, we got it right in front of me. You might as well like shoot away and ask me some questions. A little bit of a burp. Let's see, what'd someone say? Can you compare the regulator? Can you compare the regular amp to the Shocker amp? I kind of just did, didn't I? A little bit. Like size-wise and all that. Well, I mean, it's literally the exact same size. So there's really not a different, even if the O-rings are in there. It's really not a different size. I mean, the only thing that's like, you know, bigger is that foregrip. I mean, that foregrip, you know, is a little bit larger, but other than that, I mean, it's not dramatically any different. Is it worth the money? I don't know. I mean, the regular amp is quite a bit cheaper. I mean, the regular amp is hundreds of dollars less. So I think that it's probably not, you know, I mean, is it worth it? I think that things that would make it worth it is if it like, you know, shot better or performed a little different. But it really doesn't. It's still just, you know, a Shocker amp. It just looks different, and, you know, that foregrip's definitely cooler. The eye covers are definitely nicer. I don't necessarily like these on-offs. I think I like the twist knob a little bit more. I don't know, it definitely looks cleaner though. It definitely looks cleaner, but I'm not a fan of these like little lever things. Yeah. Shocker amps. Shocker HK Army amp. It does look good. I really like how HK is kind of doing this. I mean, we've seen quite a few private label guns from them. We've seen, I don't know, what they do, a Lux? Did they do a Lux? They did a Lux. Did they do a Lux? Why am I blanking on that? Well, they definitely did a CS2, a 170R. The 170R have been very popular for them. And I think just in general, the Planet Eclipse guns are very popular. So whenever you're able to like, make a custom one or get one special to you that's limited edition or something that not everybody else has, those guns always seem to do well. They do have Luxes. I forgot. I'm like, well, I know they've done a bunch of amps, but yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely did a Lux. That was a few years ago. I was thinking about like what they did now. Brandon says the ASA on my TM40 has gotten pressed off mid-game a few times. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons I don't like these, right? It's not like, these on-offs are... It's not like this like knob is like, sticking out the... Let's put that on. It's not like this knob, whoa. It's not like the, I don't know, lever sticks out the bottom or something. There's not like super easy to catch on, but you could easily see that like, you're walking or... you pull your gun back really fast next to your pants and it could easily like, snag and just open. That's kind of why I like that twist knob. It's a little bit more, we'll say deliberate when you're gonna try to use, that on off. And then it's like open like this, right? So when your air's off, you can easily just, smack it and turn the air on. Although it is true though, when you have the tank on there, it's much harder to press this. It doesn't just like, flop down like that. You actually have to like push it closed.